vegetables?
It's in the container in the corner.
They're in the kitchen.
The bottom drawer. This elevator needs pop.
Where the fish was.
It's time to be quiet now. Yo. Hey, no problem. Peace. So just getting ourselves organized a little bit before 8:30. However, give everybody a chance to come in so we can start on time and end on time. Peace, everybody. Jamie, Steph, Marina, Liliana, Pam, Akil, J Love in the house. I hope you're not driving while you're watching this. Bumping that Trap Heaven. Melissa. Peace, Bavaria. Hesson in the house. You don't want to be here? You can sit back here.
No, I don't want to be here.
Okay. We got Sammy here.
No, Daddy. Can I help Dad?
No, not yet.
Okay. We have not started.
Yeah, we started. All right, everyone. So it is officially 8:31 here, Central European time, directly in Wiesbaden, Germany. And while we continue to allow all to settle in, we'll go ahead and get our musical portion started. Happy birthday to C's overseas, who's not here right now or today. However, he did put our playlist together. We're going to start off with Oman's Groove today, as everybody gets in. And once again, we'll
featuring Roz and Sammy.
Well, hold this. There you go. All right, cool. So, please. That was Angel, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, his dates was messed up like mine yesterday. I didn't know what day it was. All right. All right. Cool. It's good now. So, let's see. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for joining us again here at the Let's Build. We're going to start off with a selection from the Universal Brothers SoundCloud page. This one is called Oman's Groove, starring, of course, God Oman Ra and Sammy and Ross over here, getting it in for the new earth. There we go. All right, Sammy.
Daddy, what is there?
Daddy, you can ask me tomorrow or later questions. Good night, Daddy. And I have some nice dreams about the 40s day.
Time after time to interrupt my daily peace craving. But it's before the ones that's no relating. I ain't hating, no time for that. I only think about the future. The one that's always got my back. Never even slack, always doing math. Living from the now, because I went hard in the past. Never had the perfect melody with destiny. With me to keep my soul bodies free. Killer springs on the beat as I'm reaching the peak. Ain't no mountain high enough because I'm one with the fleet. 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. The bitches in the book is only asking for ties. Keep a beating out, playing on some romantic. I gotta do what I do so I feel I'm rich. Keep promise my soul so it never gets old. Formulating as the centuries fold and unfold. My boat has been pulled. Psycho dance with the relics on my nightstand. You can catch me in the streets like I'm gingerbread man. Give me 5 on the black hand side. You can hide from the truth unless you're creeping the blinds. Climbing the skies, dotting the eyes, beast in the highs, conquer the lows. You think I just know what I know? Nah, been killer for a minute. From the streets to the books, to the heart. That's why I'm in it.
Being human is an exquisite adventure. There is such a depth of love and feeling even in your tears. There is such a strength of spirit even in your challenges. There is such a desire for loving growth that arises even in the darkest chaos. Dear ones, there is nothing that never was anything other than love. You connect with this love, divine love, by connecting with any love. You witness something beautiful. You appreciate yourself or anyone else you connect with this love. When you are kind to yourself or another, you feel this love. Any small loving act, either love given or love graciously received, reconnects you with the eternal source of your being. Treat yourselves as if there is nothing less than divine love within you. In every moment you have a choice to feel the love that lives and breathes in all things, even if only in a simple act of self-acceptance. Connect with this love, dear friends, as often as you can. It will transform your life. Love, divine love wants so very much to love you. God bless you. We love you so very much. The angels.
Alrighty. Happy Thursday, everyone. Thank you so very much once again for joining us here at our Let's Build. As always, yes, laugh. Aspect of releasing the energies within and the natural aspect of our healing presence, of course. Today's topic is very, very helpful in healing, as always, very grounding and a proactive aspect of that which is unfolding as we expand upon our awareness. Today we're speaking on the foundation of healing and how that works amongst some of the distortions of the mind identity. And once again, we're going to speak a little more in depth on the nature of the healing processes that we are experiencing and those things that we can do to be more effective in our being proactive amongst this process unfolding here on the surface of planet Earth amongst humanity and all that is. So once again, a great pleasure to connect with you all. Of course, today we will delve deeper into the nature of the proactivity of healing and the work that we're here to do. So thank you so very much for being here. And of course, prior to our talk today, our communication and conversation today, it's necessary for us to ground ourselves where we are going to do our exercise, which is basically the 60-minute or 60-second meditation, releasing all that has come heretofore, all of the energies and emotions that have been, so we can truly be present and allow ourselves to open our hearts and connect as one, as we share that which is known within the divine heart space from a space of unity consciousness. So thank you so very much once again for being here. We are to allow ourselves to be still, calm the outside stimuli of our presence. We're going to close our eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths, deep within the lungs, expanding as much as possible. Allowing the release. It's not necessary to change your physical environment or do anything to manipulate your environment. Is more so about being here so we can connect. Of course, we are your angelic guardians are always with you. However, the potency of this connection is based on your ability to be present. So 60 seconds it is. Calm yourself, relax, and be present. Gently allow yourself to reestablish a connection with your extremities, wiggling your toes and fingers. Allow your lungs to gently return to the normal capacity of intake. Begin to open your eyes once again. And truly being here, present, and focused. An honor it is to be present here on planet Earth in this form, in this dimension, amongst all reflections of self, being divine in nature, and expressions of the royalty that is who we are as one family. Thank you, Mel, for sharing the link on all our associated pages. So the information that is presented is available to all those who are open to connect. A great honor and service it is that you share and do all that you do in service to the light. Thank you for creating our flyer as well. Big shout out once again to overseas, Corey Marshall. It is your birthday today.
Hi, Corey.
1/1/2018, a master number, and a role of leadership here in service to planet Earth. Today, our discussion, of course, is the foundation of the healing that is taking place, and that is that which we do here amongst our awakened state in being more proactive. I've invited the God Amun-Ra to speak to us today about his recent trip to Puerto Rico, where he went to assist in the recovery efforts of the storm that they had not too long ago in the recent past, where there's still many experiencing distortions and a lack of power, food, clothing, some without shelter, and of course those oriented in service to others, or in being a soul oriented to service with others, he offered his support and energy to the souls out there some odd weeks ago to assist in their recovery efforts. And he's come with a bit of information to share about the nature of his experience, and this inspired a talk where we can delve deep into the nature of this, and you can share your own stories and comments in our comment section, where today's build will be more of an open discussion to talk about the nature of this healing. So without further ado, I turn it over to Amun Ra. Please open your hearts and welcome.
Peace, everyone. Ah, man. Tell you the truth, I'm still not here.
Yeah.
I really feel like I'm not here. I can't go to sleep early. I can't wake up early.
They still got the jet lag or what?
It has to be something else.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's been 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to assume that my spiritual senses are somewhere else where it needs to be. Of course, physically, I'm here for the kids, you know, and their break or whatever. But yeah, it's a different time right now, man. It feels really great, but at the same time, I'm not present physically.
Okay.
Now, going over to Puerto Rico, I guess I could tell a story where it basically has a backstory to it, like a timeline, like a backwards timeline, basically. Yes, I went to help without knowing exactly what to do, and connecting with others that were there in the region and people that was coming outside of the region. Everything was organized, kind of. Some things weren't organized, but what I understood from the whole situation is we need more than the physical aspects of helping. Okay, it's gonna take more than hey, let's send some money. Hey, let's send some food. Hey, let's send some toys and all that. All that stuff is good. But one of my philosophies, teach a man to fish and feed him for life, will go a whole lot farther than anything else will. As far as anyone donating or taking anything there.
So what led you to that conclusion? Like, as far as like what you seen, like what was some of your experiences and interactions with the people that were there? There were people from other places, right? That came there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just the first night I got there, it was I haven't even went up to my room yet, and a truck pulled up with 5 pallets of stuff on it. I guess it got shipped from New Jersey. Yeah. And some people came with it, a couple of female doctors and some other people. We downloaded all this stuff within like 30 minutes. The next 2 days, we were taking everything out the boxes and separating them, because it was Pampers, it was toys, it was medical supplies, it was food, it was a mixture of personal hygiene. It was just like a lot of stuff, and you don't know what was in what box besides what was written on it. Okay. And the church had a storage room in the back, and they had everything rationed off. Rice was here, beans was here, baby supplies here.
Was this like a grassroots organization from a church, a local church, or
No,
like
it
this
was
is
just
broad?
from the church.
Okay, gotcha.
It wasn't no organization. It was just I forgot the name of it, Iglesias something Presbyterian church.
Okay, and you just kind of reached out to them and offered your support and coordinated the different things they were doing.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. All right. So,
we separated everything beautifully. We're sitting there making these beautiful care packages because the FEMA packages wasn't worth anything.
What they have in this?
It was like a can of beanie weenies.
Like Spam?
Some beanie weenies. The little cans. Beanie weenies.
Okay.
I got pictures. A pack of cookies. I guess you want to call it the applesauce little slurpy thing, and some
like the
squeeze and stuff. And FEMA gave FEMA gave this to the people for themselves. And an old girl showed me, she was like, who can survive off it? It looked like something that you would feed your kids for summer camp, Then they sent a different version. It was just a bigger bottle of beanie weenies and some other snacks. Okay. And people were supposed to live off of this.
Okay.
Now, what Adelisa did, she took everything that people sent and separated it and made her own packages that can last a family of 2, 4, and 6 for a whole week.
Okay.
Which means it had soups, it had beans, it had rices, it had personal hygiene, 2 cases of water went with it. It was reasonable, like definitely reasonable.
Mm-hmm. So y'all were upgrading the packages sent by the government.
But what bothered me and her so much was this 5 pallets that came in from Jersey. These people were so focused on letting everyone know who sent it, as opposed to it going out to the right people. They was rushing her or / us. Hey, we need to hurry up and get this stuff out to the people. We need pictures. We need this and we need this. Like, y'all need to hurry up. It's been there for 2-3 days.
Who was this?
Just some doctors that donated the stuff from New Jersey, and
they were forcing y'all, like trying to hurry y'all up to get pictures,
forcing us to push the stuff out. We haven't even separated everything. We don't even know who it's gonna go to yet. It was like, oh, y'all holding on it too long. Is this a real organization? You don't have enough help, and wow. And she thought this stuff was coming from me. She thought I was talking to the woman. I'm like, no, I haven't talked to her. Like, it's us 3 doing it. It's cool. We can handle it. Like, we separating everything. We're making our own boxes. But this organization was stressing her so much. One day I came in the next night. She was like, Ahmad, we're going to take everything that they gave us and put it in another room. And she got to come and pick her stuff up and do what she wants with it.
And this is the lady from the other organization.
Yeah.
Because basically with y'all having the stuff in y'all possession, she was pressuring y'all to get the stuff out and feeling like she gave y'all the ball. Okay, got you. So she was like, you know what? Take y'all stuff back. I don't want the insults. I don't want the pressure. And at the end of the day, it feels like they were more so focused on the quantity and the representation or the versus the quality.
That's definitely
they wanted to get as much stuff out as possible, and
you got to know
claim credit for what they were doing.
Where is it going to?
Okay,
how much need to go there? Because those mountains wasn't no joke. Like when you said we was up in the mountains, we was up in the mountains.
Okay,
like we talk about 2-lane roads. Sometimes it was 1, and like we were just driving like up and up and up and up and up. So they came and got their stuff, took it where they wanted to take it, and yeah, we just rocked out after that.
Okay.
But another small instance, I don't know, it was a lot of people that's not doing anything for themselves and for the community. They're doing things for themselves, but it's really egotistically. It's like people, hey, we're going to collect money for a water pump for the community, and then they take the money and run off to the States, and nobody's heard from them again. Wow. And they say they collect the money for like 20 years, $5 a person per month or whatever. And I just heard so many stories where it was basically people was scamming the city or each other because of what happened. Like the movie The Walking Dead. If you have not seen The Walking Dead, watch it. If you're scared of zombies, cool, but that's not the point behind it. The point is basically survival when something happens. This is what your community.
So everybody was out for self. The organizations, from grassroots to the larger governmental organizations, everybody was out for self and service to self-oriented with the resources. So basically, everybody was banking off of the sympathy of the people.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes even the people. Like I was trying to help some woman. She came to us, hey, I need some heart medicine. I'm like, okay. I can't give you no heart medicine. I can take you to the pharmacy and help you get it. You got your bottle? Oh, no, I don't have the bottle. Well, okay. Can you go home and get it? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I can't go home and get it. Can I go home? You can't walk. I'll walk you home.
I'll go home with you to get it, yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know where I live. It's like,
so what do you want
help or not? Like,
okay.
I guess that's where the healing part. We really need to heal ourselves and really go deep inside and start to tell ourselves the truth. That's the first healing. The truth. The truth about you. The truth about the things that you actually go through in your life. That's the first and foremost healing that you can ever do, because I see a lot of people choose to enjoy lying to themselves so much.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because, I mean, it's easy to lie to yourself. It's like, nah, I really feel like this. Nah, I really think this. But do you think that person that was collecting that $5 per person per month for 20 years is really telling himself the truth? Or this woman that brought these 5 pallets knowing that we got to separate everything, but feeling the pressure of the people wanting just pictures and quotes for Facebook and stuff, is this really truthful to themselves? That has to be some internal healing done for you to go through that process, man. For you to be able to, I guess, be okay with life.
Wow. Yeah. And I mean, like even hearing stories like that is just extremely disheartening, because you have people who are, you know, yeah, they basically require support, but the distortions of the people that are in positions to provide support, the distortions are so deep in these factions and collections of people that, the support is, it doesn't override the programming and the selfishness and the greed. And
that's why I think we need to flip the script on what support should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in the village that we went to, that was like 2-3 hours away,
mm-hmm.
2 different political parties.
Mm-hmm.
One political party, he got food and water for his followers, left everyone else with nothing. This is why we took it up there. I think if we have some kind of proper self-support per village, per family, or whatever, people can learn to basically build something that they need. They don't have to reach out to some organization or try to scam each other, or I don't know, feel like you're in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
You live in a certain area, you know these certain things going on. If we are supposed to be this close-knit community or whatever, we need to come together and be like, all right, when something happens, you this person. When something happens, you this person. When something happens, you this person. And we go work together, and this is how we can basically heal together.
Yeah, well, I mean, and this kind of goes back to what I initially saw amongst Awakened community. Individual interest, the underlying intent to heal as a collective. However, individual interest and the distortions of the mind identity overriding the intent of what everybody kind of came together for. Like everybody came together like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. It's all, you know, beautiful things and pictures and ideas and so on and so forth. But when it actually comes to the actions, the distortions of the individual, they won't allow the effectiveness of the actions or the intention to actually manifest itself because of the internal blockages. So in actuality, it's not possible to, it's not even like, put it this way, it's not even really possible to harmoniously work together with one other person when there's an ego involved.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of ego down there. Not nothing personal.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay.
Nothing personal, but you could just feel that everyone was doing their own thing.
Everybody had their interest, mm-hmm. and their interest was more powerful than the intent of the collective. But like what they wanted to do was more important than what everybody came together for. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, well, I'm trying to get my Facebook pictures. I'm trying to get everybody to see hashtag helping this, whatever, Puerto Rico, we out here, such and such, you know, trying to show pictures and gather out of retention based on their efforts. Oh, you're such a giving person. You're so nice, and you're dedicating your time, and it's Christmas, and you're out there feeding people.
That can be done, but as long as the objective is done. And as long as it's not blocking the objective. That right there, because I can say, I was posting stuff too, mm-hmm. just so people can see. It's not just to make me look good. I'm gonna shine anyway with my butterfly shirt. I didn't have to go to Puerto Rico to make y'all look at my page.
It's not.
I just went there to do what I do. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna let you see it. But when that becomes a nuisance to what it is that I'm actually trying to do, and I'm doing it for that,
Yeah,
That's
it was
when the
more
ego was
important
so
than
big.
what you actually came in to do. Like when your service to self and your own individual interest is more powerful and important than your service to others and the wholesome intentions that you have, then of course, that's my programming. It's like, bro, like this ain't really helping nobody. I mean, you just trying to jump in front of the camera and get likes and gather support and save face or make a reputation for yourself as being this whatever, and it's pretty superficial.
Yeah, but the crazy thing about it is it don't last.
No,
because if it's not something that you normally do on a regular basis, it's not gonna last. It's like, all right, you sent 5 pallets of stuff to Puerto Rico last month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
after about a week, nobody cares anymore.
It's faddish. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, well, we woke. It's the new thing. I'm gonna go out and get some homeless people T-shirts and blankets and this, and you know what I mean? Show everybody what it is. Like, bro, like
once every 2 years or something, you do something spectacular, cool.
Okay, so I mean, like at the end of the day, like what did you actually get done? Like, you know what I mean? Like as far as your time and energy, like what did you get done as far as your emotional experience, your communication with other people? Of course, the superficial aspects of the deals and stuff y'all got out, but as far as what was the energetic spiritual value out of the trip that you gathered over the time that you were there?
I felt like I refined myself.
Mm-hmm.
I refined myself because I took myself out of my comfort zone, out of my box, out of my flow of what I normally do.
Yeah.
And just done.
Just
done. There was no time when I had to show up to do nothing. I showed up.
Mm-hmm. Pulled up.
Yeah, I just pulled up. Like, said, oh, good morning, Mom. I thought you was gonna still be asleep. Like, nah, I ain't come here to sleep.
That's right.
I came here to be part of what you guys got going on. I'm here. She was even there on Christmas Day, 6 o'clock in the morning. She worked every day. This is why I love this woman. She worked every single day. 6 o'clock in the morning, it's about 10 at night. But I refined myself. I pulled myself out of what we have going on here in Germany and just cleared my mind and totally focused on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There was no plans, no intentions, nothing I had to do. Just show up, wake up, go with the flow. Go out there, pack some boxes. Go out there and walk the dog that somebody gave me. Go out there and, hey, this group is going out, dropping off some stuff to the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me go with y'all. Go out to the beach. Go meditate on the beach. Come home to my room every night and record a track. Dope. If it wasn't too loud outside, which sometimes. Mm-hmm. But a lot of self-refinement, man. This is why I feel like I'm still not here, because it's very noisy here. Like the energy is very noisy. The vibe is noisy, and I feel like I'm not in tune with it, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be in tune with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it just felt good to be able to get away and not have to do anything, because everything I did from there was just straight out of love.
No doubt.
Not because I had to do it, not because I wanted to do it, not because I needed to do it. Oh, y'all need me? Okay, here I am.
Wow.
Like total submission, basically.
That's fly, bro. Like super fly. So I mean, like, and this is something that I admire. Just I mean, of course, you got to see another part of the world, which a lot of us have intentions to do. But at the same time, you took the opportunity to do that. But at the same time, the purpose was about going to be proactive and assisting people, like being of service. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to another place, but it ain't gonna be about me. It's gonna be about serving, enjoy nature, see different types of bugs and all that kind of stuff.
Went to the beach once.
Okay.
Went to the beach once.
Mm-hmm.
On my birthday, work. Christmas, by myself.
Yeah.
Chill.
Okay.
My kids here.
Yeah.
I'm just there. I'm just out there.
All right.
Just floating in the wind. Yeah, Sammy's telling me the food is done.
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up.
It's real refreshing, and be able to come back, and I think we all need that new spark, that new
just a little inspiration, a little zest added to our experience to change the environment.
We had a good year.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good year. It's time to just refresh it.
Absolutely. Jump out of the comfort zone and recalibrate yourself, if you will. Just okay. All right. Well, of course, today is an open discussion. Great story, great insight provided by, of course, Amun Ra here live at the Ra. We are going to take a break at this time. So, my man got kids to feed and he made some sloppy joes. You know what I mean? So we're gonna allow that to rock. Take a short break, and then we'll return with the discussion. AAA is on his way, and might have a couple other visitors here to join our open discussion. And yeah, we'd like to actually embrace this open discussion with you today as we speak on the nature of healing, the foundational aspects of healing, which we are starting to realize is within ourselves. So being that I'm the maestro today, pull up the track. So okay, one moment please. I'm just pulling it up today. I don't have my maestro with me today, so I'm a little slow.
I don't think I told you guys Happy New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year's, everybody.
I hope you got some good plans that you're actually starting now, or probably started before New Year's. I don't believe in that resolution stuff. And you should get your hind parts off the couch and get the cracking.
You did. Let's get it cracking.
See, I'm trying to watch out for my cursing nowadays.
It's all 18 already. You got to get it cracking.
What's up, Crystal? I'll see you in a few weeks.
Who's this here?
My BA buddy.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Off to these sloppy joes now.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, another track from the Universal Brothers SoundCloud page. This one is called Cloud 9. Starring myself and the God Amun Ra. We'll be back in just a second.
Another one of them ash top harmonic joints. You know how we do. This how your mama got her moving back. Yo. Cruising out somewhere, yo. Just like I do with Melrose. Yo. We're the ground, yo. Yeah. Summertime. That's how I'ma start the rhyme. Feel a brother with the vibe. Take it easy with the high. Grab the coat and with Rose. Put the order out of ties. Big Kahuna, cool with Luna. She know when it surfs up and do it with burst, bro. He had 3 shots with his burst. Young, she ain't even half glad to be first up. Salute. Southside representing the confidence. Super baby. Boss at the bus stop. Gotta crawl for the walk. We had money and tough talk. For those who ain't got much to say on the mic, bro. Hold your heart, dump your head when it's down, curl off. This is stuff for them down, it's rapping that, darn look. You could never buy my freedom with your cloud and G.O.B. infinity. Don't try to play me out, punk. Up the coastline, looking at you birds fly. Push another sunshine. Bless, make something that fast. You know, now me and you go. You heard, still on cloud 9. Don't ever escape, you need to come down. Come down. I keep the peace because I'm where I'm feeling it. Send the cipher love to the world. You dig it? Painting pictures metaphor mental pastels. Swirl my fingers in the air like London. The ever essence of a free will. So I keep it still equicentric, always in check. But sometimes it's gotta shine. They say I'm here, listen up. That's strictly for us. I do this for what? How, when, where, who? The universe chose you. Frequencies, singing well, verbalize on the real, call it what you want. It's show and tell. I spoke of how to walk, spoke of love. I took you into you, which you with us. We always went deep and turned out. Took a minute for the image in the galley house. Yeah, up close now, looking at the birds fly. High, cruising under sunshine. Bless, I make myself manifest. You know, now me a miracle. You heard, still on cloud nine. Don't ever expect me to come down. Come down. Yeah, tree life. I am this and that too. All that was is in the rear view. Let it go like a gift. I'm talking gone like a misdeployment and being anointed in the liquid age of Aquarius. Take a sip. Cream ain't nothing but a G thing. No money, no service, ain't a drama, man. We still here, still clear. The waters in the Persian Gulf, yeah. And we got the sunshine. We're going to get love my time. Creating highs, high and lows. Keep it rocking till the heavens, just so you know. Used to be swapping, now I'm so low. Used to keep it real, but now I'm just real, bro. Summertime in the winter's how we did it. Sitting loving light, let you know you winning. Up the coastline, looking at the birds fly. High, watching on the sunshine. Bless, I make myself manifest. You know, now me a miracle. You heard, still on cloud nine. Don't ever expect me to come down. It's like that hill vacation music, you know what I mean? Lay back cruising, you know how we do it. Universal brothers and sisters, big up to all the homies. All the queens too.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us here at the Les Bill, live at the Rav Wiesbaden, Germany. Central European time, it is currently 9:10 in the p.m. in the evening. And today, of course, we are speaking on healing, the foundation thereof, where we've just experienced the recap of Amun Ra's trip to Puerto Rico to assist in the recovery efforts of that community after the storm of last year. Was that spring or summer? Was it a typhoon in Puerto Rico?
The Category 5 hurricane.
Yeah, okay, got you. Category 5. That was what? It was in June, July. Okay, cool. So, yeah, once again, somewhere around 6 months ago, the Category 5 hurricane that was experienced there in Puerto Rico. Souls are still recovering from these experiences and many others. Once again, I want to just speak on this for a second. The age of rapid information exchange. There's a lot of things taking place all throughout the world, and for those of you who are paying attention to all that is taking place worldwide, there are tons and tons of distortions and dramatic activities taking place amongst the human population on a large scale, not only in nature, amongst the population, not only of that nature, but here within the sector of space. And at the end of the day, this all goes back to that which is within you. The change is reflective on the outside of the changes that are taking place inside. This is where it all has its foundation. And the original point was that amongst the intensity and speed of information gathering, we can sometimes omit and not recognize what is taking place and the magnitude of it. Yeah, they had a hurricane. You're like, okay, cool. Now it's the next story. Oh, it's the next thing. Oh, they had a shooting here. Oh, they got the coolest monkey on the planet Earth, and this on Homeboy T-shirt. Like all this stuff, like the people who don't got no homes no more and they got no food no more. We forgot about that. That's not cool no more. We focused on the H&M thing now. Like this is what we focused on. This is what we mad about now. And we just hop from being mad at this to being mad at that to being frustrated with this to outraged with that. And yes, all tragic events. And of course, all are expressions of the Creator and experiencing what is necessary for their own expansion within the perfection of existence. However, at the core of this information is the emotional manipulation of humanity. They want you to be mad. They want you to be outraged. They want you to be frustrated. And entertain these lower frequency distortions through your focus on the illusion. And we hop from drama to drama to drama. The school shooters might be driving cars into groups of people all over the place, and there's speculation of who did it and what's going on, and we just continuously shift down this continuous path of outrage and frustration, and we lose a sense of focus because we're so entertained by the harm and sadness and devastation of others because it's at a safe distance. This is where we're entertained by it because it's at a safe distance. You be outraged and talk about it and you have discussions on it or whatever, but the real work is somehow lost in translation amongst the dramas. In the rapid nature of the dramas that continue to unfold, we get caught up in this cycle of just destruction and chaos. And at the greatest explanation, a person goes, oh yeah, humans is crazy, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen, you know, Trump in office, and we just feel like this sense of hopelessness because there's so much stuff going on and there is no real explanation other than anger and frustration and confusion and chaos. And this is only because there is no clarity, because outside of peace, there is no intelligence. In fear, there is no intelligence. There's only ignorance. In love, in peace, in acceptance, in presence, there's intelligence and the clarity to realize that which is taking place on a broader scale from a more objective standpoint where you are more effective and proactive in actually taking part in the healing that's taking place. You're a part of the solution and not the dramas of massaging and dramatizing the problem just to have an interesting story to tell about another's tragedy. Once again, people at a close distance find this type of information entertaining. And oh, wow, and let me hear the story. And they get emotionally involved in the drama. We expand upon it. We turn 1 into 100.
That's why I was just chilling when that stuff was just happening.
Mm-hmm.
I was just chilling. Okay, I see ego battles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna sit on this bench and just chill. When y'all need me, I'll be right here.
Yeah, most like you ready to work. Like everybody want to talk about it. Oh, yo, look how much this dude, man. Oh,
she said this, and I'm just like, okay. Sun is feeling nice today, though. Like, I'm gonna do some pancakes. You want some coffee? Yeah. Like,
and I mean, like, and you know, we get it. There is a lot of tragedy taking place. However, there is order in all of this. I'm not helping a person by expressing pity or sympathy towards their situation. I recognize all its reflections of who I am as God, experienced in their own creation. And once again, there's nothing wrong with anything that you're doing. However, with a sense of balance and presence and peace, you recognize that which is helpful. You want to be of service and you have the intent of helping others. Your peaceful presence and sense of clarity and compassion and forgiveness and love is where you're providing the greatest service. Your sense of calm amongst the drama in the stories and the dramatic outpours of extreme emotion, like just being present and embracing, like you said, embracing nature. The truth is peace. The frequency and state of consciousness, infinite intelligence, the vibration of peace. This is where we are in service to others, where we stand as pillars of light and calm amongst the chaos of an insane population caught up in moving from emotional extreme to emotional extreme, attempting to entertain themselves and with feeding into more drama versus doing the hard work, the real work, the only work of looking in the mirror.
That's it. Only work.
This is the hardest work to do. It's easy for me to gossip about all the stuff that's happening and analyze and entertain commentary on why people did this and just get into just these talks, these philosophical discussions that at the end of the day they never end because they're just questions. This is the foundation of philosophy. Philosophy is but the study of questions with no answers, and questions only lead to more questions. There is no end result of a practical nature. There's only a continuation of talking and thoughts and exchanging of information. It never comes to a point. I like my major was philosophy until I realized that I'm just asking questions, and it gets to a point where they're rather intelligent questions. However, there is no point. It's just talking. It's like if I want to be a great conversationalist or whatever, then I'll become a philosopher and I just talk about things and throw stuff out there, and I'm just sitting here, being pompous and attempting to sound intellectual with a large vocabulary and just expressing a bunch of information. But at the end of the day, that's superficial because I'm not necessarily doing anything to assist with the reality itself, with the experience. There's no evolution or expansion with me continually asking questions. So I feel like I went on a rant just now. And maybe I did. Okay, I'm not even, I ain't even judging myself right now. But yeah, just at the end of the day, there's a lot going on. It's clear and obvious to those of us who are sensitive to the nature of what is taking place, and it's necessary to relax oneself out of the chaos and remove yourself from the dramas, because as the energies continue to elevate and expand, we're being gifted with the ability to create or have more influence, more and more over the nature of our present experience through the energies that we entertain.
I like to have the ability to go back and forth, because that stuff, like you say, it's always going to happen. It's always going to be drama. It's always going to be this and that. It's always going to exist. But as long as you're able to come back inside yourself and be able to
ground yourself,
be able to re-ground yourself, I guess, every single day, should be fine. Should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, once again, everyone has their. It's necessary for the healing process, because there's going to be interest and an attempt to figure things out for the sake of conversation and being able to talk to others and gather experience and experience life with other souls.
Small talk.
Yeah,
I'm not judging it when I say that, but it really is like small talk, and it doesn't really go anywhere. At the end of the day, it's a different conversation. It's like what we call it, water cooler talk. It's just a conversation that just exists just because. instead of what really needs to function.
Yeah, what up, Triple?
In his
What's going on?
house.
What's up, AZ? What's going
Chilling,
on?
bro. You good?
We're
Good.
here talking about the guys in Puerto Rico.
Oh, oh yeah, that was an interesting story.
No.
Hello, everyone. Love you guys. Mwah.
Yeah, no, like it kind of went from that to just all the stuff that's taking place on the planet. Like the questions and like every day is some different drama being expounded upon to, you know what I mean? Like it's like emotional manipulation. Like you move from here to here to here to here, drama to drama to drama, and out of the sake of for sake of having a good story to tell, people like sharing the devastation of others and sharing these videos. Oh, a person got shot. They took this person's this and da. And it's like, you know, where is the clarity in all of that?
It's like entertaining the distortion,
What's
basically.
that? Entertaining the distortion.
Yeah.
Because, you know, once again, I feel
Your distortion.
yeah, most
Doesn't
definitely.
mean
Your perception of the distortion.
But it's still entertaining something that you find it interesting for some reason.
Yeah, because you're still
it is
attracted to
your
it.
distortion.
Yeah, most
It's
definitely.
not the distortion.
Right.
Out there, yeah, that shit exists.
Mm-hmm.
Darn it, I could.
Yeah, it's
That
Yeah.
stuff exists. But it's your distortion. It's inside.
Because you're vibing
But
in that same vibe.
we all do it, though. We all do it.
We all do it.
And it happens, but like I said, as long
yeah,
as you
some
can
at
come
other,
back,
some at
and
greater
rewind.
to lesser capacities. Everybody's at a different level of existence within their frequency
Yeah.
of being. However, the more you evolve, the less you resonate with certain experiences, the less
Exactly.
interest you have in entertaining. And like, I don't get into this kind of stuff like that. Like,
And he made a good point, actually.
Mhm.
He said, as long as you can, step back and see the whole picture and be like, okay, that's what that is. I'm entertaining that. And then, like you said, as you evolve,
Yeah.
it's not you anymore. You
Yeah,
don't want to be
I'm-
involved anymore.
I'm
But
good. I'm not.
but it's a good sign already if you can look outside the box and say, okay, I'm almost got lost in that.
Yeah, no
I'm
doubt.
Just, I'm gonna
I was
chill.
almost emotionally manipulated by the experience.
That's how I was trying to change the conversation about the monkey on the shirt kid
Mhm.
the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal. Yeah, it's kind of messed up. Depends on how you want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I was trying to get people to change the topic because they was arguing if it was racist, it wasn't racist.
There's no point.
Instead of us being, all right, what if it was? What are you going to do inside of yourself to change yourself to heal these situations?
Yeah,
But
Instead of
what
just
you did
sitting
by
there
posting
arguing
what you
about
did by posting that there, you just like put something like something to think about. Like
Yeah.
you started the fire,
conversation.
the conversation for them to start.
Yeah,
like,
you just
getting
see it from a
into
different.
you sucked them in. But what was cool about that is you turned it around and was like, yo, why you guys doing that? They're confused was like, you started it. You got your kids like, yo, I ain't no monkey, I'm a man.
I want them to get the whole point of why we talking about this. Instead of it just being a distortion, I'm gonna flip it up and change it in a way. How can we build from this instead of it just sitting there? Because I know where people gonna go.
Yeah.
Battle, and there was a lot of battling. I was just sitting there like, y'all don't even know each other. Y'all cussing, calling each other names and stuff. Like, it's not even your situation. So how about we come together and we figure out how to heal ourselves and we can build up from this, whatever is going on.
And if I may, that reminds me of this, basically the story that actually describes that, right? Basically, it reminds me of the dog handler. I don't know if you've heard of the story of the dog handler. And somebody told me this story. So basically, the dog handler fights his dogs, right? That's how he makes his money. So in order to make his money, his dogs have to be mean and have to be riled up and everything, right? And the dogs representing society, the people, right? So what he would do is have them go hungry. Then have them fight each other by throwing like pieces of meat. And the pieces of meat is stuff like you did, the little stuff that doesn't matter, like Black Lives Matter and all that stupid stuff, those distortions that the media and everybody puts in there. And the two dogs are fighting to the death for that piece of meat. And they're fighting each other. That dog's looking at the other dog as their enemy. But not one time do they look at the dog handler and say, you're not my enemy. It's the dog handler who's the enemy. And the same thing what we're doing in society. We're fighting each other for stuff that doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing that all that stuff is due because of the people who are above all that. controlling all that or feeding to all that. They throw little issues here, little issues there, and keeping it in chaos. But within chaos, they can
me or us is throwing healing stuff in there. Hopefully, there's no sparks.
Yeah. Well, what people need to realize though, they have more control when there's chaos. When there's no chaos, they have no control. When everybody is in peace and doing what they,
They don't control.
Well,
A lot of people don't
depends who you
control,
ask.
man.
No, I'm talking about, whatever. But
all want control. They're trying to
well, the thing is,
control of the population is possible.
When you're in fear, and you need something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
Well, this is that once again, with the responsibility, and the responsibility comes with honor. Honor comes with responsibility. The responsibility for one's own experience is a large load for a lot of people. It's easier to listen to other people and just have somebody tell you what to do all day long. But for you to take responsibility of your experience, all the decisions and things that's going on, your feelings, your emotions, and all that, and the outcomes and so on and so forth, that's a large load for
but just like I was telling Mary the other day, because I got to go talk to Shaquem this weekend, his mama basically, so she can talk to him. You got to break down everything that you need. All that crap from birth, whatever your mama told you,
reprogram,
TV, kindergarten, school, your friends, you got to break it all down and rebuild yourself into something that you never expected.
Well, I guess what he's saying is that die and get reborn again, basically.
You gotta die. You just gotta be able to let go of that stuff,
right?
Because that's
the that's the death.
That's part of healing.
That's a metaphorical death, like to release all of that. Who you feel that you are, like your old self dies for a new version with a new paradigm.
Fears and those
those stuff.
All that stuff.
You got conditioned to learn through culture, through family, through society. However you grew up with, that's in you, like a code. And it's almost like you have to reprogram yourself all over again, or like metaphorically die and be reborn again. But but we're getting like everywhere. But
yeah, most definitely we're going everywhere. But I mean, the point of today's discussion. Now, let's just go here before we take another break. To entertain any stories or inquiries that we have here in our comment section today. The point of today's discussion is that the foundation, the most effective and efficient service a soul can ever provide all life in this dimension, it seems simple. It seems very simple, and it seems very easy. However, that is the paradox within the holographic illusion. The greatest service you can provide is the healing of one's own self. This is the greatest service, and not only the greatest service, the hardest work a soul can ever embark on in this reality. It is you. It is you, it is you, it is you. There's been many who put it in very poetical and musical ways of, like from Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror to, you can name any other song created by souls that are sensitive and aware of the nature of healing. And it always goes back to the one in the mirror. My own experience within my path of awakening, and any of you who have come to a place of being on this path of mastery, you can read all the books in the world, and you will always come back to the mirror. All of them. You will go through time. You will go through a whole library. My whole library is gone because it always led back to the simplest look in the mirror. And it was always me. It was always inside. It was always about me. It was always about the foundation and source of everything that's being experienced, my own sense of being. The greatest quote was silence. There was nothing said. I am. I know, but I know nothing. A paradox beyond logical comprehension. Beyond the explanations and rebuttals and beautiful, eloquent language, there is a space of peace. There is the silence. There is one's own compassion, forgiveness, acceptance of oneself from a place of unconditional love and being an expression of wisdom and infinite intelligence. We can play with explanations and how-tos and videos all day long. However, none of it really matters unless we embrace a sense of presence and we come to a place of emptiness. Heaven, the heaven within oneself. In actuality, heaven is more of a metaphor, because when we contemplate logically the nature of heaven, we're talking about up, the sky, space. The sky is really just a description of that which doesn't exist in being but space. And what is space? The holographic representation of emptiness. This is what we label as heaven. Emptiness. The representation of peace, clarity. There's no bombs and big stuff going on out there. There's just peace. There's twinkle. There's light. There is, however, metaphorically, what we know to be heaven is within ourselves. And contextually, according to the metaphor, we're attempting to find this empty space of peace and beauty within ourselves, to allow such an experience to manifest into the physical reality, into the physical realm. However, that needs to be recognized within oneself first. I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with anyone's efforts, anyone's intentions to go out and give homeless people jackets and coats and go and build houses and help with relief efforts, or join Greenpeace or any type of organizations to assist in the physical assistance of others. In actuality, who we are as extraterrestrials here in this physical reality, our intent, our work here is to assist others, service to others in the physical reality. However, the nature of this service is not to sell, to convince, or to advertise or physically do anything. It is to share a frequency of consciousness, a frequency of being. This is what we're here to do, if you will, which is not necessarily action, but a vibrational frequency which manifests itself into an emotional state, into an intellectual state of being or projection, into physical actions. However, the foundation of the service, the support in which we are here to provide, has its foundation in our state of being. We're here to share in essence with those who are open and not force a particular reality, a philosophy, or a way of being on others because they got it wrong. We have to save the planet. We need to wake y'all up and so on and so forth. All this stuff is just, it's immature. Presence, oneself, the work that you're doing to embrace more compassion, to express more forgiveness, to give more, to serve more, to create more. There was a transmission expressed. I want to say that was my last transmission. Create, serve, give, and step back. Keep it moving. You serve and you keep it moving. Don't hang around. You don't have to videotape it and show everybody what's going on and attempt to stay stagnant to make sure you receive recognition for the service that you're providing. You provide the service and you get going. If they say thank you or whatever the case may be, just extra kudos, extra points. But the service itself, beyond the ego, is to provide it and get going. We got more work to do. We'll have wins and experience victories along the way, but we experience the victories. We get up the next morning, we clean up, and we go back to work. That part is done. Great, we got there. Let's keep it moving. There's more work to do. There's more service to provide. However, this is a fire within. When we recognize it's within, we can continue to keep going. We'll have to relive it and make sure people know that we're doing it and attempting to receive confirmation and validation. We work constantly. It is not even from a place of ego at all. It's from a place of presence and joy. We experience joy in seeing the nature of experience or reality or physical existence expand and thrive. For those reflections of self to love and enjoy. Sometimes, and I'm not sure if there's others who experience the same thing. Sometimes when I go to a party, we'll do everything to set it all up. And y'all notice this, like about me in general. Like we'll set the party up, do the flyer, do all the stuff, set it up, this, invite everybody come. We got hors d'oeuvres and so on and so forth out and about on the tables, and everybody's having a good time. And this is just my nature. Everybody's not like that. Some people are, but I'm not the only one. We'll set it all up, and the crown jewel, or the enjoyment out of setting up a party and attending it, for me, is more of being able to see everybody enjoy each other. And I enjoy seeing others enjoy themselves. And not necessarily even me being the center of attention. I'll hit the balcony and be at a bird's eye view of the party and the shenanigans and all other kind of stuff. But for me to be in that space and be from a place of peace and see everyone enjoy themselves, I experience like some of the greatest joy in seeing people enjoy life. Just to be a particular, to take part in the organization of seeing joy, to take part in serving, to experience and me living joy through seeing it amongst a collective. This is where I find most stimulation as an individual. Now I'll come in and we, come in, how we used to do. Yeah. You go to Excel, or go to, Europalace, whatever, we jump in, say what's up to everybody, give them fives, take a couple pictures, and we out.
That was it.
It was cool. This is tight.
It was better to do that than even hang out.
Yeah, so I don't want to stay to the end. I don't want to get drunk. I don't want to try to collect no numbers. And this is, we got like drink a little something, blaze or whatever outside. But
Are we talking to Ashtar?
Oh no, you talking about me.
Yeah.
In general, y'all know me. Y'all, come on, look here. No, we talking about AZ. Y'all know. No, the old me. The old me, like I get down, don't put me on Front Street in front of the community.
Like for real,
No. Every time we went to club, you was always chill.
Yeah, what's that?
Except. You need my jacket?
Yeah. Oh. Nah, son.
All right. Well, anyway.
No, but
anyway,
on the real, you know what I'm saying? Like, most of that we had some bugged out experiences, but at the end of the day, just being able to do that, like, you had evolved and started, you've been through enough stuff, you go to
Yo,
I'm trying to be serious. Like,
I'm sorry. I couldn't let that one go. That was just one more. That's it. That's my last one, man. I swear to God.
But yeah, no, like, you come to a place where you know what I mean, like you truly respect and enjoy peace. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you know what? This is tight. But once again, everybody, you have to embrace where you are. You got to embrace where you are. And if you embrace where you are, you evolve more rapid than, attempting to superficially be somewhere that you're not spiritually, because, it just seemed like somewhere you intend to be or you aspire to be. You try to force it now, like, oh, no, I'm awakened. I don't do that no more. And this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, bro, like, you got to do what you want to do now. You got to just do what you want to do right now. Because if you don't, you're going to be basically creating all these energetic blockages within yourself, attempting to be this superficial guru.
So funny.
And then you're going to end up rejecting and resenting the whole thing.
I just had a conversation today about that.
You know what I mean? You'll end up rejecting and resenting the whole, like, man, I'm tired of, trying to be positive and this. Like, you really have to do what you want to do, say what you want to say.
You have to
when
be
you want to say. Most of you have to be you, because then when you go through the healing experiences, you're genuinely healing. Versus, like, kind of faking it until you're like, nah, bro, like, yo.
Because it's gonna take a toll on you because you're not being you're authentic.
You having to invest or expound too much energy in trying to uphold this persona that you want to maintain, but you know what I mean? Like, yo, you ain't there yet, B. Like, stop fronting. Like, just be where you at. I mean, like, look, you know what I mean? Y'all done saw me at my worst.
Yeah.
You dig? And I did what I did. I won't apologetic. I won't apologize for nothing.
No judgment here.
You know what I mean?
Like, I'm the last person.
He told me I was on my career the other day. You know what I'm saying? No, but
y'all missed something. Like,
no, because it was dirty up in here, and now you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna say what I want to say because that's how I get down. But still, the thing is I'm open-hearted about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
And you know what I mean? Like, yeah, just you love yourself enough to be yourself, and then
I don't have no problem being myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just what I mean. Once again, going back to the point of self-healing being the foundation of all healing, that personal sense of integrity is where it starts. The personal sense of integrity and embrace of oneself unapologetically is where it starts, because from there you can recognize the nature of wisdom and your sense of presence and all the other kind of stuff. But at the same time, you do it from a place of unconditional, like, this is where I'm at right now, and I do this, I do that, I don't like this, I don't like that, I like this, I like that, blah blah blah. But you recognize your convictions, and then through recognizing them, you can move on and evolve beyond it. Because you just like, yo, I'm put my stuff on the table. You know what I mean? And then whatever I need to do to fix this and fix that, it's gonna come. But I'm cool right now.
Yeah.
You did? Yeah. So at the end of the day, go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say the only time that I made and I don't feel good about it, that I'm not totally myself, is when I'm out there at work. Like, it's hard to be
in that
environment because people don't accept you for that, and it's almost as if you just have to act a certain way to survive.
It's like,
but
a lot of people going through this.
Yeah,
told me that the other day too.
It's almost, you gotta have courage to be yourself in certain situations.
Because people gonna judge you and stuff. You know what I mean?
With the flower.
Oh, he don't care, man. He'll wear a big colorful flower right here.
Going to work.
Going to work with some pink socks and bell bottoms and stuff.
I ain't had no bell bottoms. I'm judging you now. I didn't wear no bell bottoms, bro.
All right. But you can see his socks. No bright pink. It was like, I don't know, bright blue.
Look, man, you had no idea how many times people call me gay, son.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did. They thought that, but I was like, no, he's far from it. They were asking me because they were afraid to ask you. Is he? No, man. I was like, hell no.
Nah, that dude that gave you swatter ride in Puerto Rico.
Big truck. What color was the truck?
Yellow
truck. Oh, man. I mean, he's kind of cute, but damn.
No, he told me he was beautiful. He was like, I'm not beautiful to you. I'm beautiful to girls, but I'm not beautiful to you.
Oh man. Nah.
Oh man, that's pretty funny, man.
Yeah, so it's
I
like,
don't like when somebody call me cute.
no, so I said, you're beautiful. He's like, yeah, you're so beautiful. He's like, oh, can I see your tattoo? Can you take your shirt off?
Oh wow. So let me ask you something. How did you feel when he did that?
Much respect, women. Much respect to you, women. What you got to take from us guys, I now know how to feel.
I don't be doing that. Maybe Angel be doing that.
Damn, man, I can't even say anything about it. Like,
Let's get to what's
I'm dying here.
Yeah, bro. Anyway.
Back to AZ socks.
Oh, no. We ain't talking about that no more.
You had a cool office though, man.
No, the office was fly. I mean, but you know what I mean, hard is chilling. Anyway, at the end of the day, the point is personal integrity is where you allow yourself to heal. The healing that's taking place inside is the foundation of the healing experience that we experience outside of ourselves. When you make the internal changes, you see the changes in your external reality. Of course, when you make the external changes for a more gracious and expansive sense of being, the more beauty and respect that you have within yourself, the more respectable and integral and beautiful your outer experience becomes, because these are the frequencies that change within you. And you're seeing reflections or experiencing your own energy through the reflection that is a holographic experience. So, point being, the nature of our conversation today, amongst all the laughter, which is excellent, is that amongst all the things that are being done outside, all the efforts and attempts that are taking place amongst many who have beautiful intentions, wholesome intentions and energy to share with the planet, the most important, the foundation of all healing takes place within who you are as an individual. Amun Ra explained it as those are probably the greatest examples of what takes place amongst a society that has an intention to help others, however, have not came to a space of internal clarity and alignment. You end up having people out for our attention, deception. As far as I'm concerned, from his explanation, all the resources were there in country for the people. All the resources were there and present. However, the internal distortions of the people in that environment would not allow them to equally share those resources and help each other. The greed and deception and fear of survival amongst most souls in that area. And I'm not necessarily picking on Puerto Rico. This is a global something. This could have happened anywhere in the world. We have everything that we need. However, it never comes to a space of abundance when we're dealing with internal distortions. So he didn't have to give out anything. If anything, it was more about the people healing themselves. Him sharing his energy and being a positive, aligned presence in that environment, sharing that energy was the most helpful thing that I felt from my perspective that he did in going out there. Just being the light of divine truth beyond all the drama, beyond the debates and ego battles amongst those that had different intentions.
Once they found out I wasn't female, that's what it
You know what I'm saying?
That's what she was like, you female? I was like, nah, I ain't female. She was like, okay. She gave me that look like she was gonna smack me if I would have been female.
Wow. Well,
I'm here for a different reason.
Absolutely. And from your own free will, you were out there. You know what I mean? It wasn't like nobody told you this is your birthday, Christmas, your kids here, this, that, I'm going halfway across the world. I ain't come out here to get nothing from nobody. I ain't gonna take nothing from nobody. I came here to share my energy, my essence, and be a part of the healing process on a physical level, but also on an emotional, spiritual level as well. However, once again, spirit trumps the emotional, intellectual, and physical activities of the illusion. When you change that which is taking place on a spiritual level, all other levels of existence must follow by universal law. It's just how it works. Everything comes from a space of spirit. So when we talk about keeping it real, this is as real as it gets. And more on a daily basis, humanity is starting to realize this. And if anything, I feel that this is valuable because there are many who have intentions of going out to physically assist the world in many different ways through energy devices and ways to clean water and provide clothing, food, and shelter, and all the things that are necessary for a comfortable physical existence. And some of you are doing the work that takes place on an emotional or intellectual level. For others, when it comes to counseling or Reiki healing or any other aspect of the emotional psyche level of healing. However, once again, for you to be effective and to assist in any way, it always starts with you, within yourself. I do this work every day. There's always more to do. I don't just sit here in front of the computer and speak on things and talk about healing and so on and so forth without doing the work. I'm doing the work every day. This is life. And not to say that life is all work, but the integrated nature of the work is at the foundation of this presence. So there are no instructions here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. This is Les Vell. We're going to take a small break. We're around an hour 30. We're going to take a break for a musical selection from our Universal Brothers SoundCloud page. And then we will return to address any comments or stories that you all have in our comment section. I invite you all to share anything that you would like to share in the comment section, any inquiries that you have. We would love to hear from you, and we will go through the list as much as possible to get to anything that is expressed in our comment section. So let's see what it oversees. Select.
Can't be all work and no play. We all need playtime.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah, of course. But once again, the playtime is integrated in your experience. It's integrated naturally. You follow your own intuition throughout your path.
Word.
However, that the work allows for a seamless amount of play that is extremely more stimulating than if I was to attempt to focus or create an experience of play all day. Cool. So we're going to go to Caesar's Groove for our musical selection at this point in the show. See if I can pull it up for everybody.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Caesar's Groove. Happy birthday, Caesar.
me a piece of cheese, please. I ain't with all that political greenback philosophy. I graduated from the New Earth School. No cash rules, started art to relax. Provided by Professor L and Dr. Mad. So could never divide the world up like a flash. You dig? About the brothers, about the sisters, about the children. It's all love. About the brothers, about the sisters, about the children. Love. Essence of the sea of life over the heart. My star sees spark. I step close to my prime. Try to choose what we find. Like a hot nectar to a dime. We're doing just fine. Only going where they're afraid to. Fear's a byproduct. Don't let it change you. Change your angle. Dig through. Deep truth. Grassroots. New earth. NBC. This how we do. About the brothers. About the sisters. About the children. It's all love. About the brothers, about the sisters, about the children. Love.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so very much for joining us here at the Let's Build. Today's talk continues to be, come on, bro. On that of the foundation of healing. Yeah, I want to see it too. When we finish.
Burn it. Somebody wants to burn it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. The sage and cleansing energies up in here.
I haven't heard that one, and I really like that one.
Cool, yeah, no doubt. So overseas, definitely in the building. Once again, happy birthday overseas, wherever you are. Thank you for shining the light here on the new earth. We continue forth on today. Now is our last section where we will address any inquiries that you have placed or stories that you placed on our comment section. Let's keep it moving. Do you see anything on here so far, bro?
You know, honestly, everybody's just making some comments, no questions.
Yeah.
To be honest, most of these are just, you know, what we already know. Man. Everybody's just feeling it. People are thankful, giving unconditional love. Oh, you can ask. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you. You know?
Hey, Miss Mishko over here clowning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. Sound like when I
What?
wear short sleeves.
What?
Ah, man.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question.
Yep.
From Andrea.
What you got, Andrea?
How would you handle loss of a new job? Loss of a new job.
Well, there's only opportunity. The job in question is not your job. You keep it moving. Embrace what is. Of course, whenever there is a distortion of that nature, there is a flip side. However, being within the frequency of peace allows for the blessing in disguise to reveal itself. It's only necessary to be present. and allow life to show you what it has, which is better suited for you on your journey. You may have placed your eggs all in one basket, if you will, on the new employment. However, this was only to stimulate a certain frequency within you. And in all honesty, it's necessary for you to maintain that frequency, being that life has presented you with that opportunity. I wouldn't falter or feel that there's a loss in any way, shape, or form. If anything, there's only catalyst or more expansion. There is no loss in truth.
Mm-hmm.
So be with the experience. Continue to trust your path. There's only perfection and infinite intelligence. There's something about this experience that you don't presently recognize or comprehend. And there's nothing out of place about that. It's your experience. Accept it and allow the blessing to manifest itself. The more acceptance, the more in gratitude you are for life itself in this now moment. Amongst the sensitive nature of such a assumed or perceived challenge, the more potent the energies are for blessings.
Oh, she just lost it today.
No, I recognize that.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up.
Well, once again, I would even change the language, if you will, because to feel that you lost something it's not creative. And you can sense that within the frequency of the word. It's not yours. If anything, you can focus on there being something better suited for you in the works, versus continually expressing that you, quote unquote, lost something, a job, or whatever the case may be. There's something in the works for you, and through your sense of presence and moving away from the frequencies of victimization, you're allowing yourself to be open to such an experience.
That's what's up. Ellen. Hello, Ellen. How you doing?
Love, what's going on, Miss Bush?
Word. Thank you for what you do.
Absolutely.
She says that Stefan will be hosting a Let's Build this Sunday.
I haven't forgot. I was going to announce it at the end.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
That's what's up. Let's see. This is from Amazing Stephanie.
Absolutely. Philly.
Yes, in the grocery store, Legacy picked out some marshmallows. By the time we left the store, there were a few in the bag. I took the bag and put it in the front of the stroller, right? At the crosswalk, a young lady approached and said hi. The light turned and Legacy got the marshmallow and said she wants to share it with her. I called the sister and Legacy handed her the marshmallow. Guess what she ate? Guess what she ate? That was major healing for me, because in the past I would not have called her back, especially knowing Legacy had her hands on it. Okay.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. Once again, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing the story, and thank you, Legacy, for expressing the nature of unity consciousness. Mm-hmm. This is the frequency that we are moving into, and recognizing all as reflections. Beyond the stranger mentality or the fear of germs and things of this nature, when we disconnect from such illusions, we allow ourselves to experience reflections of ourselves in a space of peace. We're always aligned and divine in nature. So thank you for sharing this story. This is beautiful. And this is an unconditionally loving motherly act, if you will, to say the least, to be honest.
Wow. Okay. A long one, but
yeah, it's all good.
This is from Marissa.
Yep.
I came home from Did we say anything that Paul's worth?
Pause on your sloppy Joe.
Stop being so sloppy, bro.
Yeah.
We don't say pause anymore.
See, you got it.
You could have said it.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
I would have paused.
Yeah.
All right. I came home from work one day and my house was not there. It had burned to the foundation and turned into charcoal over a soy candle blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, my mother and the animals were able to get out of the house. During the time, people were still switching from MySpace to Facebook and social media had not reached its peak. People were so generous and kind to us, offering us places to stay, food, clothing, gas, anything. Somebody I didn't even know started a baking fundraiser and raised money to give to me. Somebody else held another fundraiser for us by doing auctions. They raised over $30,000 US for my family. It blew my mind that is what the compassion of humans will do when one loses everything. We were so blessed. Nobody did this to seek recognition. Nobody shared these things online. Now we are at the time where we can raise awareness to areas in need all around the world, and we have the potential to assist others in so many ways. Absolutely. 100%.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that story, Marissa. An amazing experience and just more testimonials of the nature of infinite intelligence. At work, there is only blessings that we experience, and a lot of times the greatest blessings that present themselves in our experience, of course, to the mind, identity, or perception, if you will, are basically viewed as somehow hardships or things that we don't want in our life. However, blessings always dress themselves in disguises. So thank you for sharing this story, Marissa.
Hey, by the way, Valerie throws a snowball at you and your sloppy Joe. Throw it back. Okay, so this is from Frank. He says, I've read the premise of reincarnation is an illusion or illusionary program designed to keep humanity in a 3D karmic loop. Any truth to that?
And what was this again? I've read that the premise of reincarnation is an illusion. Yeah. Well, in truth, yes, this is an illusory program. The nature of this physical experience is also an illusory program, heavenly technology, if you will. The raising of the frequency allows the soul to move beyond that cycle. However, this takes much internal focus and intent on a daily basis, certain practices where the energies that are here on the surface of planet Earth and continue to elevate are assisting in such a process. However, we must recognize this. The reincarnation cycles are for the purpose of the illusion of linear time, where souls within lower frequency existences have the opportunity to experience the cycles necessary to clear and open energies within oneself to evolve into a higher frequency resonance, to a higher frequency state of being through one's own free will decisions. This is a tool in which the spiritual hierarchies use to allow for species and souls that continually are being created and are continually expanding to experience the elevated path of evolution, where these souls come to a place of awareness where they recognize the truth of peace and are spiritually mature and responsible enough to exist within the realms of eternity in a space of unconditional love where they can coexist amongst the multitudes of other creations and reflections of the divine. So in short, to answer your question, yes, this is the nature of incarnation, the cycles of reincarnation, which humanity are very familiar with. However, at this point, in this lifetime, we have the opportunity, those of you that are open and serious about such an opportunity, to move beyond such cycles.
Okay, I actually have a question for you, Z.
Yo.
This is like a, serious question to actually value your opinion on.
Yep.
So talking about reincarnating, I was listening to something, I guess it's something that happened in the 70s. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's supposed to be the most accurate channeling ever with Ra. And
the Law of One?
The Law of One, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So in this, they're talking to Ra, and Ra says that, okay, there's basically two types of people in this world: people who are service to themselves, and then those who are service to others, right? And in this transition, from this transition that's going to happen, where the Earth or our galaxy is going to be vibrating a different vibration, which will allow us to transition to the next whatever 4D, 5D, or whatever it is that the next density or so on, right? But those who, they call it the harvest, the time of the harvest, right?
No doubt.
And so they say that those who on this earth are service to others, those who are already doing that, it will be easier for them in certain levels to transition than those who are still stuck in the distortions and service to stuff. And they will reincarnate and may have to relive that three-dimensional, and it might be a little more difficult for them to realize that kind of stuff. Is that something? Yeah, well, again, a lot of stuff that we say in different ways. And so I want to clarify, like, what do you have to say? Because now I'm like, I've heard it before, but now I'm like reading into it harder. Like more things are coming out. So I kind of, and the way things are going right now, more of that stuff is coming to light now. So it's almost, I feel like something big is happening actually now. So, right. So, well, no, I'm speaking, I'm just speaking from within. I just feel like something's going on.
But just like the light goes, you don't recognize normally those 333 and 777 until you bring it to your attention.
Right.
And this is the same thing. I'm going to assume it's not to answer your question, but this is why it's becoming so familiar to you because.
Well, no, I've heard it before. Like, you know how the thing about information like this, depending on where you at, you understand it differently in a different time when you hear it again. No doubt. Like so you get different bits of information at a certain time. And I think it's made like that on purpose. Like, of course, it's for your evolution. But like you understand one thing, but you hear that same thing again 2 years later, it means totally something else.
Yeah, because you have expand your consciousness. Absolutely, you have more to work with. And so, in actuality, the nature of this shift is, and the analogy that Amun just presented, it has its place. However, on a global scale, this is a whole new ball game because we're experiencing things that many souls have. This species has not experienced before. Like this species has not experienced before. If it's like just a realization, I keep hearing about it and I'm starting to notice it in my life, it's like, okay, cool. Well, maybe I'm just aware of it. Oh, I got these shoes on. Other people got these shoes too. Oh, I'm driving this car. Oh, this person got an Audi too. That person got an Audi. The same color. Not like that level of awareness. But we're talking about a global change with things that are brand new that have not happened within the last 1,000 years for this species are happening. And it's not necessarily repetitive things that I'm just becoming more aware of because I'm more sensitive to them now. Right.
And that, if you can only probably see it if you're more sensitive to it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or not. But like, so that is correct then. That's exactly what's happening.
That is exactly what is happening.
Okay.
The the thing is service to service to others oriented souls do require a conscious recognition of the law of one, which is basically all our reflections. There is a conscious recognition of the hard work that's required to move into more elevated frequencies of being to allow for such a transition to unfold. Because, for the most part, to feel that it's just possible for us to be spectators of the event and just wait for whatever to land or something to happen or whatever, and like, oh yeah, well, I'm nice, I'm positive, so take me with y'all. Like, oh, it don't work like that. Like, and this is the purpose of those who are awakened and proactive doing what they're doing. And, not basically giving instructions, but we are to be living examples of the work that is required to realize such an experience in our own physical reality, like to actually move into it and take part and not necessarily just view it, like to actually interact and it be a firsthand experience. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like we literally have to create massive amounts of our own unique work, our own original creations in order for us to expand and elevate our own individual frequency. Like this is like real stuff. And the thing is as things go on and it's kind of, as things continue to escalate, the dramas will become more and more apparent and vivid. Where the thing is some people are so caught up in the dramas that they're just gonna entertain worry and panic and say, "Oh man, God, what?" And just be stimulated off of attempting to tell everybody, "Yo, you see this? You see this? You see this?" And on the other spectrum, on the other side of the spectrum is those who realize the seriousness of it and they recognize how important it is for them to focus their energy on the things that they prefer because they're manifesting realities in a very rapid rate, and they recognize the value of their sense of presence and calm because they will be activated into service and having to go amongst those who just don't entertain or just not even in the space to be calm right now. They're like, oh my God, earthquakes or something happening. Like, oh, this is like, we literally going to have to be in this space of peace. And things are gonna happen in your area, like in your neighborhood, people close to you, and so on and so forth. Like things happening, but that balance and sense of presence just has to be there. But this is where we're preparing, or like this is where we're cultivating a sense of presence to allow for ourselves to be of that type of service in its appropriate time frame. So
so thank you for validating that, man. That's what's up. Okay, so that opened up all kinds of stuff here now. A lot of people acknowledging, they understand, they've heard about the law of one, about the harvest here. Somebody says here, do people commit suicide? People who commit suicide reincarnate? Do they?
Yes, of course. All souls reincarnate. All souls reincarnate. Well, all souls that aren't ascending are reincarnating. Not necessarily here on planet Earth. Like planet Earth is done with the lower frequencies.
Right. Okay, because we're transitioning.
Yeah, most definitely. These souls will go through a life review and have the opportunity to select a planetary sphere to experience many, many more lifetimes on. However, reincarnation does take place. In a way, the personality construct remains intact. However, there will be the wiping phase where when they enter into an incarnation, they have to, start, from scratch, if you will, on a conscious level. But reincarnation continues for all.
Well, Marissa goes on saying somebody told her that there is no reincarnation and that we only remember emissions or emanations of past lives that we were spirit guides for.
Yeah, can't validate
Everyone
that.
has their own perception.
Yeah.
Of what's gonna happen. I don't think there's no particular one.
Okay. Depends on incarnations and views. Okay.
There's no particular one style.
Okay. Let's see what else there is. There's comments. Catherine says, I decided to work in my field 1 month ago. As the decision was taken, I have open opportunities who happen in my life now. All effortlessly, the universe brings to me the people I have to meet. It's all real miracle. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. Somebody wants to thank. I miss you guys. I came by your spot with Marcel and my boyfriend Zach. Oh, I remember her. Crazy Ohio people.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Can't believe I just stumbled upon this on Facebook. Why do you always speak to me at just the right times? Thank you for being you and doing what you do. That's what's up. No, Ashley. That's what's up. I remember that. Okay.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for coming by. We really appreciate your presence.
It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then Carrie Chu. Majority of humanity in deep sleep are very much still in separation and are mostly STS rather than STO.
Service to self.
Okay.
Service
Yes. Where their true selves are disconnected, so not in the space of being of higher vibrations, frequencies, unity, and unconditional love. Mm-hmm. Comment.
Yeah. So it's this.
Stefan, he says, for me, it is a great joy to talk about future technology too, and meeting with space families, Gaia Living Library.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in, Stefan. A great pleasure and honor.
That is the end of that. That is it.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the unfoldment of the harvest. Planet Earth is unfolding many rapid changes. There are truths that are sensed on a very deep level amongst all in their own way, in their own filter. Just as fear is but a filter of love, there are filtered perceptions and bits and pieces of accurate, intuitive guidance that all are receiving. As Amun said, there is no one way based on one's convictions. However, there is a divine truth to all that is being experienced. However, your individual experience, especially when it comes to reincarnation, is based on your own filters of that one divine truth. There will be souls who feel that there is a judgment or a good and evil, a battle for one soul's or one soul between Moses and Allah, and all of these belief systems that exist here on the surface of planet Earth amongst humanity. However, these convictions manifest the holographic illusions that go along with them based on your own individual frequency of being and filters that filter the true nature of this experience that you may experience temporarily, just to allow a gentle realization of the divine truth. Even on the soul level, even in the etheric level, as souls awaken to the divine truth, it is not necessarily a flick of a light switch and you're seeing the divine truth of this reality. There is a graceful transition, if you will, almost somewhat of a halfway house of holographic experiences that will allow reincarnating souls to eventually recognize the divine truth of such an experience before the life review, before the reconstruction of one's next lifetime on another planet. there are these levels of existence, because once again, the spiritual hierarchies are gentle. The nature of one's soul and expression comes with a gentle unfoldment, where shock and awe, if you will, are not necessarily a part of this experience. So, once again, there are no mistakes here, and there is something very, very serious taking place here on the surface of planet Earth right now. However, it is up to you to do the internal work of focusing inside and calming yourself in peace, where you recognize from a place of clarity what is taking place. You will be guided to the information necessary for you to embrace beyond the illusion of deception and suspicion and distortion, and realizing the divine truth of this now moment. What you got, Trip?
All right, we got Frank. He says, what is the catalyst for a transition if you're kind of in between channels, but you desire to vibrate on a higher frequency? I feel my heart is huge and it expands around me and is felt far and wide, especially when I'm present in joy. But sometimes my brain programming from my genetic emotional makeup or family karma in the genes that served as self-preservation, reptilian brain, at one point that may have served me previously, but not anymore. What is the catalyst for a permanent change? All right, read that one again.
What is the catalyst for a permanent change? There is no one catalyst for such a change. And in actuality, this catalyst is based on your own filters, your own harmonic frequency of being at present. The catalyst will continue to present themselves in many ways, not necessarily or not only or exclusively upheavals, if you will, but also gentle guidance and suggestions from reflections of self. In actuality, our connection today is one of those catalysts. The communication that is taking place in this now moment is one of those catalysts. If anything, the more important focus, or that which deserves the most energy, is your intent to exist beyond the distortions that you describe, or those that you feel that you have, where in actuality, even holding on to these distortions, the analysis of your reality and feeling that you're in between channels. This is the analysis of the frequency reality that you're in, the labeling of your present state to hold on to the idea that you are holding on to distortions, or that you require some type of catalyst for you to move through or into a higher frequency of being or a more aligned reality. These are integrated aspects of your reality already. The healing is taking place. The catalysts are unfolding. This being one of them. This now moment is the most important reality there is, and in truth, a catalyst of the healing that is required for you to experience and unfold that which you intend, which is to move into a more aligned sense of presence and reality. So if anything, these are the projections of the mind identity attempting to figure out the functionality of, or the mechanics of something that is organic. Mechanics being more of a logically comprehensible analysis of the mechanisms of unconditional love or infinite intelligence. However, these are beyond analysis or comprehension. The mind identity doesn't have the capacity to realize them. It is more with the heart space that you exist beyond this talk, where The heart is saying nothing now because it knows that everything is exactly how it is and that which you are intending for yourself is unfolding before you. So if anything, welcome to the Let's Build community. Thank you for being awakened. Thank you for intending to see and unfold a deeper sense of liberation for yourself in this now moment, because you are assisting all life through such an intention. However, beyond the analysis and attempt to figure it all out, there is nothing to figure out. There's only a deeper sense of presence that you have the opportunity to embrace now by grounding yourself beyond the mental activity.
I think it's a good sign that he can even make such a statement.
Absolutely.
He's aware of that,
No doubt.
that he, you know, he can see outside the box that he is
Most
between transformation. Because there's a lot of people who can't even say what he just said.
What's
So
that? They're like, oh, no, I'm good. Like, he's
You know.
actually like taking responsibility.
yeah, he's already on his way. I
Most
mean,
that,
he's
of course.
there.
These are leaps and bounds.
Yeah,
Once again,
so,
personal responsibility and personal integrity is the foundation of all change. So thank you for being here and embracing and
That's what's up,
actually
man.
communicating what you communicated today.
Absolutely. That was a good one, man.
Mhm.
All right, so I think Carrie True just want to say gratitude to the Light team. Something interesting and amazing happened in a dream time while I was in deep sleep, basically between 1 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. And etheric guides, surgeons, with the help of this is really long. Okay. With the help of my true self, must have assisted in my physical vessel healing as I requested. What startled me when I got up early morning was I noticed I was only wearing my t-shirt and my long jumper came off me completely and was kneeling next to me on the bed, because I certainly will have consciously woken up in order to take the long top off myself. But since that miraculously came off me without me knowing until I woke up, and my right knee no longer feel as painful from that joint misalignment, and most of my body aches from crystallization are mostly gone. I must have been in a healing chamber. I feel amazing. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Absolutely.
Pass that.
Thank you for sharing, Carrie.
I ain't said pass your comment, bro. I said pass some of that.
Pass some of that to you.
Pass some of that.
Yo,
I need a healing chamber too, like.
yo, pause. Lou said that was thick and fast.
Guys, I read that. I didn't want to say anything, but I
said that was thick and fast. Okay, cool. Pause.
that was an inner runner. Anyway, that is pretty amazing there, Carrie. Okay.